Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from Breitbart. This is dated July 8th, and it's by John Nolte, who I've made my affection known for. I love his articles. And the cheap fake thing, I figured he'd talk about this at some point, and I'm glad he did. I scanned through this article, but we will read it together here because he's going to give us a list, which I love to see, about all the cheap fake sort of stuff that the media was saying. So let's get into it. It says, everything being the same, if Joe Biden were up 5 points against Donald Trump right now, the corporate media would still be telling us he's sharp as a tack. And as far as the corporate media are concerned, the only thing that has changed between this, and it gives a list, a whole bunch of bullets, and it says, NBC News on June 19th, the deceptive Biden G7 video was quickly debunked, but it kept going viral anyway. CNN on June 14th. Right-wing media outlets used deceptively cropped video to misleadingly claim Biden wandered off at G7 summit. I even made one of my little clip videos that showed exactly that. It was not deceptively cropped at all. Washington Post on June 11th. How Republicans used misleading videos to attack Biden in a 24-hour period. CBS News on June 18th. Misleading Biden videos go viral. ABC News in August. How do you know Joe Biden is not going to finish his term? What is that based on? New York Times on June 21st, how misleading videos are trailing Biden as he battles age doubts. And then MSNBC in March says this version of Biden intellectually, analytically is the best Biden ever. All right, so we know that they're obviously running cover for the man, and as we've seen since the debate, that's clearly the case. So going back to the sentence before those bullets, it says, so as far as the corporate media are concerned, the only thing that has changed between what I just read off and what I'm about to read, and it says down here, it says, is this, Biden is losing the election to Trump. So it looks like this next part here is going to be all these folks changing their minds. So it says NBC News on July 4th. It says far from a one-off, the debate revealed the same worrying traits, memory lapses, incoherence, a vacant look. NBC, well, I thought it was quickly debunked and everything kept going viral anyway. CNN, what did you say? This Biden's mental fitness could have been better covered leading up to the debate, some White House reporters acknowledged, but didn't you just say a couple weeks beforehand that right-wing media outlets used deceptively cropped video to misleadingly claim Biden wandered off? Washington Post, how about you on July 3rd? He said sometimes he doesn't grasp the finer points of policy details because, that's what you want in your president is he doesn't get it. He occasionally forgets people's names, stares blankly, and moves slowly around the room. But a few weeks before that says how Republicans use misleading videos to attack Biden in a 24-hour period. Seems to me like something changed. Let's keep going. CBS News on June 28th says voters watched as President Biden meandered and stumbled through answers that amplified concerns about his age. But on June 18th, they said misleading Biden videos go viral. Well, at this point, I'm going, well, which one is it, guys? Is he good or bad? It's ABC News on July 5th. Do you have the mental and physical capacity to do it for another 4 years? But in August, so it must have been August last year, obviously, it says, how do you know Joe Biden is not going to finish his term? What is that based on? All right. It says, New York Times on June 28th, to serve his country, President Biden should leave the race. But on June 21st, which was only a week before they said Biden should leave, they said how misleading videos are trailing Biden as he battles age doubts. And MSNBC on June 28th said if he were CEO and he turned in a performance like that, would any corporation in America keep him as CEO? And I would even go farther than that and saying, like, if he was your grandpa and he was on stage, wouldn't you start having that conversation with your family about grandpa needs to be put in a home? But MSNBC back in March said this version of Biden is intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. So remember, the only reason they're doing this is because Biden is losing the election to Trump. So let's continue on past those bullets. It says, had Biden gone into that debate 5 points ahead of Trump instead of a few points down, the media jihad would look very different today. Instead of calling on Biden to step aside, we'd be force-fed lies about Biden having a cold, suffering jet lag after 6 days of rest at Camp David, being sharp as a tack after an off night, and watching endless replays of former President Trump carefully walking down a ramp and sipping a glass of water. 5 years of video proves Biden has become increasingly frail and confused would not matter to the media if his fraudulency were up 5 points. And by the way, John Nolte, the author of the article, always calls Joe Biden his fraudulency. That's going to be coming up a couple more times, I think, from what I remember seeing. It says, years of getting caught knowing reporter questions in advance and still stumbling on the answers would not matter to the media if his fraudulency were up 5 points. That disastrous debate with Trump would not matter to the media if his fraudulency were up 5 points. It said this, did it just, I was like, wait, it sounds like the same exact sentence again. It's not, it's different. My fault. Says the media do not care that Biden is not capable of doing the job today, much less in any kind of shape to be president another 4 years. That's not what this is about. We know that for a fact because the media have known for years that Biden is not up to the job, much less in any kind of shape to be president another 4 years. Yeah, like, does anybody out there really think that he is going to make it through a second term? Like, if you're voting for Biden here, you're going to be voting really for Kamala, because Biden's not going to make it past, into like fulfill his second term. This is not going to happen. It says the media do not care about democracy or America, and they certainly do not care about the well-being of the American people. The current jihad to force Biden to step down has nothing to do with decency, truth, or democracy. Since the Great Basement campaign of 2020, the media have known of Biden's mental and physical decline and have shamelessly covered it up by telling us our eyes are lying. Only one thing has changed during that debate. The media now believe Biden will lose the election, so they want him out for only one reason: to help the Democrat Party. You see, everything the corporate media must be reverse engineered to the starting point of how does his aid and abet the Democrat Party. That will always be the media's only motive for whatever they do. No sane person believes that the same media guilty of spreading the Russian collusion conspiracy theory, or who told us Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation, or who told us unedited video of President Roomba. That's good. I might have to steal that. So let's start that over. It says, or who told us that Hunter's laptop was Russian disinformation, or who told us unedited video of President Roomba is misinformation, have suddenly decided to do what's best for American democracy. Says the media are vile, venal, evil fascists who only wish us harm. Because the only thing corporate media woke up to last week was the sweaty fear Biden cannot beat Trump. So now the very same media that crybabies about democracy want tens of millions of Democrat Party primary voters who already knew Biden was old and frail, disenfranchised, their votes stomped into dust by the jackboots of party apparatchiks. If Joe Biden were 5 points up, he could have walked on that debate stage, dropped his pants, enjoyed a good pee, walked off, and the media would be telling us good old Scranton Joe hit a debate home run showing the orange bad man the contempt he deserves. Yeah, it's like what did Donald Trump say years ago, that he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue in New York City and nobody would care? That's kind of how the media feels about Joe Biden. Is like if that was Biden and not Trump, like they would be like, okay. Like it just wouldn't matter to them. So yeah, like I said, very well put, and I like the comparing and contrasting of all the news sites from like 2 weeks or something beforehand were like, oh, he's great, and then 2 weeks later it's like, no, actually this kind of sucks, and he needs to step down. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Do you agree with all this stuff? Do you think Joe's got to go? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.